Here's a beautiful problem from the 2008 International Mathematical Olympiad. We need to prove that there are infinitely many positive integers in such that n squared plus 1 has a prime divisor that's greater than 2n plus the square root of 2n. Now, at first glance, this might look like we're being asked to find a needle in a haystack, but it turns out there's an elegant structure hiding beneath this seemingly arbitrary inequality. The key insight, as we'll see, comes from thinking about quadratic residues and using a clever construction. Let's start by unpacking what this problem is really asking. We're looking for a prime p that divides n squared plus 1. When we say p divides n squared plus 1, we're dealing with a divisibility condition that we can rewrite using modular arithmetic. This divisibility statement is equivalent to saying that n squared plus 1 leaves no remainder when divided by p. In modular arithmetic terms, this means n squared is congruent to -1 modulo p. This is a classic quadratic congruence, and understanding when it has solutions will be crucial. Here's where some beautiful number theory comes in. The congruence, n squared, congruent to -1 modulo p, has a solution if and only if p equals 2, or p is congruent to 1 modulo 4. This is a fundamental result about quadratic residues that tells us exactly which primes we should be focusing on. This insight completely changes our approach. Instead of searching randomly for suitable n values, we'll construct them systematically using a specific family of primes. By Dirichlet's theorem on arithmetic progressions, there are infinitely many primes that are congruent to 1 modulo 4. Let's work with this entire infinite sequence of such primes. For each of these special primes, we can find a solution to our congruence. For each prime, let's pick the smallest positive integer that makes n squared congruent to -1 modulo that prime. This gives us an infinite sequence of solutions. The question is, do these n values get arbitrarily large? If they stayed bounded, we'd have a problem. Let's suppose, for the sake of contradiction, that all our n values are bounded above by some number m. This would mean they're all contained in the finite set 1, 2, 3 up to m. If this were true, then every prime in our infinite list would have to divide some n squared plus 1 for some n in this bounded range. This means every prime in our infinite sequence must divide at least one of the finite collection, 1 squared plus 1, 2 squared plus 1, all the way up to m squared plus 1. But here's the problem. Any finite collection of integers can only have finitely many prime divisors in total. We can't have infinitely many distinct primes all dividing numbers from a finite list. This is our contradiction. Therefore, our assumption must be false. The sequence of n values must be unbounded, meaning it contains arbitrarily large integers. This is exactly what we need for our construction to work. Now comes the clever part. We need to show that infinitely many of our pairs actually satisfy the original inequality. Let's define a useful quantity. Since each prime divides the corresponding n squared plus 1, we can write n squared plus 1 as k times that prime, where k is some positive integer we'll call the cofactor. Now, we have this infinite sequence of cofactors. Here's the key observation. Either some particular value appears infinitely often in this sequence, or all values appear only finitely often, making the sequence unbounded. Let's consider the first case. If some integer k appears infinitely many times, we can extract an infinite family where the cofactor is always this fixed value k. Let's focus on this infinite family. For each solution in this family, we have the prime equals n squared plus 1, all divided by our fixed k. Now, we want to check when the original inequality holds. We need the prime to be greater than 2n plus the square root of 2n. Substituting our expression for the prime, this becomes the inequality you see here. Let's clean this up by multiplying both sides by our fixed constant k. This gives us n squared, plus 1 is greater than k times the quantity, 2n plus the square root of 2n. Let's distribute the k on the right side. We get 2k times n plus k times the square root of 2n. Now, let's rearrange this to see the structure more clearly by moving everything to one side. The inequality is equivalent to showing that this expression is positive. This is the key insight. We have a quadratic term in n, some linear terms, and a square root term. The quadratic term dominates for large values. Think of this as a function f of x. As x gets large, the x squared term grows much faster than the linear x term or the square root of x term. We can factor out x squared and see that all the other terms vanish as x approaches infinity. The limit is positive infinity. What this means is that for any fixed value of k, there's some threshold. Beyond that threshold, our function is always positive, which means the original inequality always holds. Let's connect all the pieces. We establish that our family of n values is infinite and unbounded. This means there are infinitely many values that exceed any threshold we choose. Therefore, we have infinitely many integers and such that n squared plus 1 has a prime divisor greater than 2. N plus the square root of 2n. This is exactly what the problem asked us to prove. What's beautiful about this proof is how it combines several areas of mathematics. We used quadratic residues to understand which primes to focus on, employed a contradiction argument to show our sequence is unbounded, and then used asymptotic analysis to verify the inequality. The interplay between these different mathematical tools is what makes Olympiad problems so elegant. Thanks for following along with this proof. If you enjoyed exploring this beautiful piece of number theory, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more mathematical adventures. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.